Hell yeah. Yeah, barbecued up some tri-tip, man. Made some tri-tip tacos. If we go to other states, they don't even know what fucking tri-tip is, bro. Oh, they got a Chiefs guy up there? What the fuck? Fuck you, fucking Kansas City. That's right, let's go. Fucking Raider Nation all day, man. All fucking day. That's right. Raiders! Super Bowl douchebags. Oh, God. They're going to pull out the Super Bowl trophy? What a bunch of fucking douchebags, dude. Raiders! Fucking piece of shit. Has this ever happened? I mean, has any team ever pulled out their fucking Super Bowl? I mean, should we like pull out our fucking Super Bowl from trophies from fucking fuck you, fucking queefs? Why do they even have fucking these guys up here? We've just turned into a clown show, Raider Nation. Raiders! We just turned into a fucking queef clown show. Good, get those douchebags out of here. Why would anybody want to fucking see that shit? Like, I looked at it and I thought I was going to have to shit out some blood, some fucking ketchup or something. Patrick Mahomes and his fucking mullet. Raiders! Mohawk mullet. Another bandwagon franchise fan base, just like them Patriot fans. All right, let's go. Raiders! Raider Nation, what's going on? I'm Hardcore Raider. Just did a little clip there from the draft. I was pretty fired up. I've had time to digest it. Wanted to kind of go over my thoughts on the draft and some things that, a few things I liked. There's more things that I'm not nearly as optimistic as a lot of Raider fans out there. But, I want to kind of go over kind of like going into the draft, what we thought, and then, where we were at, coming out of the draft and what needs were met and whatever. So got some people in the chat. Otis, what's up, dude? Hopefully you're doing good. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a screen here. Anthony, dude, shout out to you. Anybody else in the chat? Make sure you guys drop a comment, subscribe, hit the like button. Appreciate that. All right, so going into this draft, right, there's some obvious things that we needed, right? Now, I was vocal that I really wanted, Hendon Hooker. We didn't get him. I am upset, right? But my plan going into the draft was like, if we're not going to get a quarterback like Hendon Hooker, who I believe could be a franchise quarterback, we have to figure out a lot of needs that we have on defense, okay? So one of the things that I was big about, because when I looked at the draft, I said, hey, we can go into the third round with maybe like a cornerback, D tackle, edge rusher. Like at 7, I liked it. I still like the edge rusher, but that wasn't the biggest need. But linebacker, right? So going into the third round, I knew there was going to be some linebackers or cornerbacks available, but we were going to have to make a trade. So this is why I was a proponent of trading back. Okay. Or we figure out a way to leverage some of next year's draft picks or something like that, or a draft pick, maybe something for like this year and then next year, so we can move up and get another defensive stud. The opportunity for us to make that move and make that happen so that we got talent on the board when there was talent available. I think it's a miss. I do think it's a miss. Even if we disregard my thinking, right, of Hendon Hooker, and we give the Raiders an A or B plus or whatever for the first pick of Tyree Wilson, which I like. The second pick of the tight end, Michael Mayer. I did some research on him. I was a proponent of getting tight ends later in the draft, right? He does look like he has potential to be a stud. I do like the fact that Michael Mayer can be like a blocking tight end and catching tight end. I think it leaves a lot more versatility for like an offense to have a universal guy. So I like the thought process of that. Okay. I know a lot of people had him in the first round or whatever. So let's just say I'm okay with the first 2 picks. Okay. Then at that point, after the first 2 picks, what did the Raiders do? We get a D tackle, right? But we still I know we need a D tackle, and I know the defensive line is been terrible, but let's put this in proper perspective, right? Like, let's really put this in proper perspective that this staff drafted 2 defensive tackles last year. And I believe it's the 4th, 5th round, right? So they drafted 2 defensive tackles last year, and then we're going to get a D tackle in the 3rd round. Okay. So when we analyze this from like a perspective of who was on the board, and if you guys I know I cussed a lot and when the draft was live, but like that video I did, where I posted it recently on my feeds or whatever, but like, dude, that was 8 hours of live stream that I had to edit, and I spent over 40 hours editing that video, and I did that for several reasons. I apologize I cussed so much. I was pretty fired up or whatever. But if you go through that draft live that I did, or not the live, but it was the the highlights essentially of up until round 3. I did it specifically so you guys can go back and watch it and you can see who's on the board. It's like a timeline, right? I'm keeping receipts, guys. I'm keeping receipts on this coaching staff. You can see when the draft was falling, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Trenton Simpson's available, or this is crazy. DeMarvion Overshone went, or this is crazy. Drew Sanders went to the Broncos. We didn't do anything to address our linebacker position. So if you analyze, and this isn't like rocket science, guys, right? Like I'm gonna try to keep my cool and stuff, not blow my lid, dude. But like going into the draft, most of us in Raider Nation knew our biggest weaknesses were one, red zone for offense, right? So we get rid of Darren Waller, and then we bring in this other tight end who has potential. It's going to take him time to develop, whatever. Okay. So let's say we address the red zone issue because we drafted a tight end in the second round, right? But there's still the biggest need on our team that we all know is the middle of the field. And we in Raider Nation have said it for years. This isn't like a new anomaly, dude. This isn't like we found like the next, 10th wonder of the fucking world here, guys. Like we've all known we need a linebacker for a long time. Even if we liked Denzel Perryman, he was a good leader. I liked him. He couldn't cover wide receivers and tight ends, man. So like we've known we've needed a linebacker for a long time. And I feel personally there was studs available when we drafted in the third round, and we could have moved up. Even if we get Byron, I feel we got Byron Young a little too early, right? I do. And I said it when we were live. I was like, I'm gonna let a week digest, because I'm like, sometimes I'm too emotional. I want this team to win real bad. I'm a diehard hardcore Raider fan. That's why I named myself Hardcore Raider, because I get really fired up. That's why I usually don't go live streams during games or fucking drafts and shit. But the point is that even after we got Byron Young, dude, there were still linebackers on the boards, guys. Like I want you guys to like truly realize that the Raiders had still opportunities to get a linebacker. So we go into the draft knowing the biggest need on this team was linebacker in the middle of the field, and we come out of the draft and the same situation is still the same, meaning we still need a linebacker, and the middle of the field is still going to be the weakest point for our team. And this is a miss. Even if you give them an A+ for the first and the second pick for, the edge rusher and then the tight end, this is an epic fail to come out of this draft. And you get somebody, maybe this guy that we got in the 6th round or whatever, maybe he can be something. He used to have some safety experience, but to come out of the draft without a stud linebacker, I mean, tell me how any Raider fan can be happy and feel like this is a successful draft. Please, somebody, please tell me how anybody could actually think that is a smart, for one, thing to say. Two, to come out of this draft and give these guys these flowers, right? As I put in my video, if you watched it, I threw some nuggets in there. To give these guys flowers, like this was a great draft. I feel they did okay when we got Bennett, when we got Christopher Smith. I feel for the value, I feel like that was some okay picks. But again, dude, these guys aren't very tall, man. These guys can't cover Travis Kelce, and I know like almost nobody can. But it doesn't, dude. You guys know what we drafted? We drafted Carl Joseph and LaMarcus Joyner. This is like LaMarcus Joyner and fucking Carl Joseph repeat. And how does nobody even see this, dude? Like, I don't care that they're fast or whatever, dude. Like, these are extreme needs on our team. And it wasn't just like, oh, I get it, like draft best player available. But at some point, dude, there was still stud linebackers or good linebackers on the board in round 3. Do you guys understand that? That there was still guys available, especially round 2. But like when we picked, after the second round, like we can't move up or do anything to get a linebacker. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we got to be real. I'm tired of this fake ass shit. People want positivity. There's like 20 other fucking YouTubers. They're making money off YouTube. All their content is to fluff you up and to make money off YouTube and not ruffle the feathers. I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. I said going on in this off, I was patient, guys. I want you to realize that. I was real patient with this coaching staff. And I am one of the guys that have been ready to move on from Derek Carr for a while. Because I know some people get this misconception that, like, either you hate McDaniels and you love Carr, or that you or you hate Carr and you love McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I was ready to move on from Carr, and I'm going to be critical of this coaching staff. Imagine that I have an analytical brain and they ain't getting free passes on my fucking watch. Hell no, dude. This is a Super Bowl winning coach that came over to our team and they destroyed a playoff team. You guys, like I said it in my draft, video. Dude, they took guys. Now, even though I'm ready to move on from Derek Carr, it wasn't John Gruden that gave Derek Carr the contract. I want you guys to realize that, right? Like, it wasn't John Gruden and Mike Mayock that gave Derek Carr that contract. That was this coaching staff. This staff. You don't got to be that smart to see they gave him a contract, and then they're like, oh, well, let's get rid of him. Okay. Like that one, I'll give him a freebie, right? I'll be like, okay, maybe they messed up, okay? But they gave Darren Waller a contract, right? And then they get rid of Darren Waller. You guys seeing a trend yet? And then we draft a wide receiver in the 3rd round, and you guys think we're going to keep Hunter Renfrow? Keep in mind, Hunter Renfrow isn't that fast, whatever. Dude, John Gruden adjusted his play calling to help benefit Hunter Renfrow, and he balled out, dude. Hunter Renfrow ended up being a super stud. This coaching staff, when Hunter Renfrow got healthy, did not use Hunter Renfrow the proper way. Not for the skill set of what Hunter Renfrow has. So they paid Hunter Renfrow, and now we're going to get rid of Hunter Renfrow. Like, dude, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy, man. So who's next? Hunter Renfrow. Who's on the chopping block after Hunter Renfrow? You better believe you like Josh Jacobs. Everybody in Raider Nation, yeah, let's franchise tag Josh Jacobs instead of give him a contract. You guys think a dude that was fucking homeless in a car, that was the number 1 rushing leader, is going to settle for fucking crumbs right now? Anybody? You guys really think Josh Jacobs is going to play on a franchise fucking tag? You're high, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I don't want to get mean, but you're smoking some fucking crack. This motherfucker will not play on a franchise tag, and he shouldn't. The one guy that earned a contract, they don't pay. They're only paying the players they want to get rid of. I'll repeat that. They are only paying the players they want to get rid of. We'll be lucky if Davante Adams is a Raider after this year. We'll be lucky if Davante Adams is a Raider after this year. They'll trade him. Dude, they'll sell their fucking, this staff will sell their soul to make a buck or a draft pick or whatever. And I've got more. I'll do a video on it later on because I'm going down a massive rabbit hole. But I'm telling you, dude, these guys don't fucking care. They're not Raiders. They're not true Raiders. They don't have loyalty. They don't have any loyalty. Like, seriously, man. They could give a fuck less, man. And if I'm a player and I see what the fuck's really going on instead of what they're telling us, I wouldn't want to play for this organization. Get fucked, man. If I'm Josh Jacobs, no way. I ain't doing it, man. I wouldn't. And that dude's a stud, and he won't be a Raider. Mark my fucking words. If we don't give that dude a fucking contract, Josh Jacobs ain't being no Raider. That motherfucker was homeless, living in a car. He operates under a different set of standards. He's the only motherfucker that called out this team at times, not just last year, year before, and years prior. This dude was a rookie calling motherfuckers out. This is the one leader on our team that's bled silver and black, like one of the few Oakland Raiders left. The guy we got from the Khalil Mack trade, and you might as well just fucking kiss his ass goodbye right fucking now. Kiss him goodbye. I got a Jacobs jersey. I love this motherfucker. He ain't going to play for the Raiders. Mark my fucking words. He will not be a Raider next year. And all you jackasses that said franchise tag Jacobs, congratulations. And everybody that says, oh, you don't pay running backs, okay, I don't fucking care anymore. Yeah, take a $5.6 million cap hit when you paid Carr and you got rid of him for nothing. That's smart. That's smart. We could use that $5.6 million to pay Jacobs right now, huh? Oh, let's get rid of Renfrow, who we paid, right? Who's a good wide receiver if they used him right and coached him right and did the right play calling for Renfrow. Let's get rid of him, right? That's smart. But this isn't a rebuild. This isn't a rebuild. Oh, well, we went in. We didn't think it was going to be rebuild. We don't like these guys. We got to get our own guys. Dude, these guys have been blowing smoke up our asses and lying to us the whole fucking time. And we all took the bait, man. I did too. I'll admit, I did too. We took the bait. They don't fucking care, man. I mean, we get rid of Renfro and Jacobs. There's no way they're not trying to purposely tank, dude. And you think Devontae Adams is going to want to stick around for this horse shit? I mean, he's from Palo Alto. He's a real motherfucker. You think Devontae Adams don't know what the fuck's going on? He don't have to say shit or post shit about it, man. He's a real dog. A real fucking dog. And what did Max Crosby say? If you watch my draft like highlight video I did, I put in there after they didn't get Hendon Hooker, I did this like the slap thing. It was kind of funny. That dude's name was Mad Max. Dude, Mad Max said he wanted dogs, right? So how many dogs did we really get on defense, guys? Right? Well, in that video, that was like Mad Max fucking bitch slapping the Raiders for not getting us more fucking dogs on defense. We got a couple, but not enough. Not enough for what we need to really win. So they're trying to build it slow. It's the 10-year fucking endless rebuild, right? And all of Raider Nation is fucking cool with this mediocrity bullshit. I'm fired up. I'm a fired up fan. Yeah, absolutely. Here's what I'd say to some of the other Raider Nation content creators. Maybe you should have a little more fucking passion instead of accepting mediocrity. We've all gotten to a point where we're okay with fucking losing, dude. Like, we don't hold people accountable and shit, dude. How do we get to a point in, like, at least Raider Nation society where we've accepted mediocrity? You guys realize how fucking stupid this is? Tell me I can't be pissed. Tell me. I'll listen to it all fucking day long. I'll shoulder that shit and I'll still march the fuck on. I ain't accepted mediocrity. No fucking way. I don't give a fuck who the coach is. I don't care who the GM is. I don't care how much damage control they do by doing YouTube videos and all this stuff. And, Ziegler saying, oh, well, some guys got drafted a couple picks ahead of us or whatever. Well, you should have done better. Where's your accountability? Or, oh, the players loved McDaniels and I don't understand all this. When there was I forget what it was called. It was some sort of a test or review process they did where they did all the coaches, and McDaniels was like one of the last on the list for players that respected their coaches and stuff like that. That's our coach, man. You especially in today's society, you got to figure out a way to get people bought in on your system and what you believe. And they haven't done it, guys. I'm not seeing it. Oh, everybody wants to come be a Raider. Like who, dude? Like who? Who do we get in free agency that's just dying to be a fucking Raider? As GM, Ziegler's trying to put out. I mean, somebody fucking tell me. I'm listening. Because I ain't fucking seeing it. I see a lot of backup, mediocre fucking players and cheap contracts. That's what I see. I don't see just win now, baby players. Does anybody see the just win now, baby players, home runs we got in free agency? Anybody? Because the way I look at it, we have a mediocre fucking team at best. Even with Devontae Adams. Even if Josh Jacobs was on our team. I'm telling you, we're going to be lucky to get 4 to 6 wins this year. 4 to 6 wins. Because of what these guys, we got fed that here's what they fed us. That our team that went to the playoffs when we played the Bengals was not a playoff team because we went on a run. We barely won some games. Well, we also barely lost some games this year too, right? A lot, right? But supposedly our team that went to the playoffs was not a playoff team. Did you guys really buy that shit? Did you guys buy the hogwash that we got fed after McClown took over that we did not have a playoff team? Because we had a damn good fucking team as far as I'm concerned. And we did have a playoff team going into last year. We had a damn good team. Even with Derek Carr playing mediocre, not playing good. We still had a good fucking team, guys. So we've been getting fed bullshit this whole time. And you know what? People aren't real. People are fake as fuck. So be it, man. So be it, man. That's cool. That's cool. People fluff you up. They're making fucking tons of money off YouTube. I'm fucking glad, dude. Raider Nation all day. You guys are fucking awesome. Nobody's being real, guys. When are we going to be real? When are we going to hold this staff accountable to just win, baby? And true commitment to excellence. True commitment to excellence. Win. Because me as a Raider fan, last 20-year anniversary of going to a Super Bowl. Fuck, man. You guys realize how many other teams are as shitty as the fucking Raiders? Lions, Browns. Well, Saints have been good the last 20 years off and on, but dude, there's a lot of teams that like even like fuck, I don't know. Try to think of a team like the Titans or a team like even the Texans have like gone to the playoffs and won a playoff game last 20 years where we haven't, dude. It's been terrible. And yeah, we all know why. Coaching staff changeover, bad draft picks. Dude, it's been the same story over and over again. And each time we all get hoodwinked in Raider Nation that it's not a rebuild. Oh, we need our guys. And then boom, same thing. Same thing, same story over and over again. And we've all accepted it to the point where we're just like, commitment to mediocrity. We should all have t-shirts. Don't even say commitment to excellence or just win, baby. I'm serious. Like we've all accepted mediocrity and we're okay with it. But I'm not okay with it. No, I'm going to call them out and I'm going to call it like I see it. And I'm going to tell you like it really is. All right. So now that I did my rant, I'll show you guys something here real quick. Kind of go over this draft and just my final thoughts here. And yeah, I'm fired up, guys. You know, just the way I'm built and wired. All right. So, all right. I want to look at this here real quick with you guys. All right. And I'm going to take myself off the screen, but I want you guys to see this. You can screenshot it, right? I want you guys to look at the draft picks going into the draft. Remembering biggest needs on team were red zone and say middle of the field. I mean, we all know we need a D tackle, linebacker, cornerback. Like, right. That's pretty obvious. You know, some might say safety. That's pretty obvious. We all knew there's tons of holes on the defense. Okay. But I want you guys to look at this and look at our draft picks going into this draft. We had 12 picks. Okay. I'm going to take myself off screen. So give me a second. All right. So going into this draft, you could see we had, you know, the first round, pick 7. The second round, we had pick 38. The third round, we had pick 70 and then pick 100. Obviously, the pick 100 is for the Darren Waller trade. Okay. Round 4, we had pick 109. And then round 5, pick 141, pick 144, pick 174. Okay. Round 6, 204, 214, 220. Right. Now, most of us Raider Nation, we know we weren't going to get all, we weren't going to use all these draft picks, right? But there's plenty of leverage. Okay. Here's my point. There's plenty of leverage where we can use some things to move around. Okay. To get some studs, especially for the needs of the team, and get some guys on our team that are going to help us be successful. Okay. So that's important. The next screen I'm going to share with you guys. Okay. Is the trades that were done. Because this is important to keep everything in proper context of what really went down. Because we all get hyped up on these players and we forget how, like, what really happened, I feel like, right? All right. So right here, this screen is where we moved up in the second round. This is where we got our tight end. Okay. This is where we got Michael Mayer. Okay. I'll be honest, I don't hate this draft pick or, this trade necessarily for only giving up a fifth round draft pick to move up, 3 spots to potentially get a stud tight end. I don't hate it, but there were still some guys in the 5th round that you might have wanted to use that pick for. Okay. So I'll say with this, let's, I'll evaluate. I'll just be like, you know what? I think it was an okay move. All right. I'll leave it at that. I think it was okay. I don't think it was great. I think it was good enough. Okay. To potentially get a starting tight end. But we did trade Waller. If I kind of evaluate it with the Waller trade and what we only got a 3rd round. And Waller, I think, is a super stud if he's healthy. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, right? All right, the next trade. All right, this is where the Raiders had moved up. We got, pick 104, okay? And then, the 6th round, 203. I don't even care about that. But then the Texans got 109. And then, the 5th round, pick 174. All right. So anybody know what trade this trade was right here? All right. This is the trade where the Raiders went from pick 109 to 104. What trade was this? This is when the Raiders traded up to get Jacorian Bennett, cornerback. Okay. So we had traded up to get a cornerback. So I want you guys to remember that. We traded up to get a cornerback. Okay. And then the next picture I'm going to show, and you guys can screenshot all this shit. Rewind it later. You guys can screenshot it, right? Because it's hard after the draft. It's hard to find the trades that were done for some reason. They don't. I don't know. But anyway, so all right, the next pick. I don't think I uploaded the last one. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to find it on my trade to Colts, Texans. All right, I must have not saved it on my computer. So, all right, so my bad. But the point is, I want you guys to see here is that like one of the important things I feel like, is just that we had traded up to get a cornerback. Okay. I'll switch my screen real quick because I don't want to look at that. All right. So we had traded up to get a cornerback. Okay. So you look at it, who was available when we had our previous draft pick? Like who did the Raiders get on the previous draft pick? Okay. All right, I'm add a screen here so you guys can see all of our draft picks. Okay. All right. So when you look at this, right, and you break it down, right, we had traded up right here, as you guys can see, to get Jacorian Bennett. Prior to that, we got Trey Tucker, which is Trey Tucker is the one that I have a real issue with. Byron Young, I like Byron Young, but I feel like that might have been a little bit early. But if I'm fair, like analytically, like there was hardly any D tackles that were that great after Byron Young went off the board. So the Raiders probably reached a little bit of Byron Young because they got scared because there was really not much very good D tackles available after that point. Okay. But the Trey Tucker, right? Let's just say the Raiders were to switch the Trey Tucker pick and the Jacorian Bennett pick, like if they would have just gone cornerback here, right? And then gone Trey Tucker there, that would be a lot better as well. We would have had an additional draft pick. We wouldn't even had to trade up, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we traded up to get Jacorian Bennett. Okay. We also traded up. That was the other picture. We also traded up to get Aidan O'Connell, which I don't want to talk about him right now. I just want to focus on Trey Tucker and Jacorian Bennett, right? The other part of it is that if we go into the draft rounds here, guys, and we look at like how this story went down, right? If we go the second round of how this thing went down. Look at the linebackers that went off the board. Okay. Derek Hall. So this is like right after we picked our tight end. Okay. Let's rewind the draft. Let's go back and really look at this with an analytical standpoint instead of flowers, right? Giving people automatic flowers. Let's just kind of look at, what linebackers were still on the board before our next pick. Okay. So at this point, as you guys hopefully can see, let me double check, make sure you guys can look at this. As you guys can see, there was still a lot of linebackers on the board. I mean, look what linebackers went in round 2, guys. I mean, outside linebacker, pretty much edge rusher, Derek Hall. Okay. BJ Ojulari, outside linebacker, pretty much edge rusher. But right here's one, went to the Chargers, Tuli Tupu Lotu, outside linebacker, right? So there's still linebackers on the board. So I'm going to go into round 3. That was round 2. Let's go into round 3. So this one, Zach Pickens comes off the board. Pretty good defensive tackle, okay? Drew Sanders comes off the board, okay? Drew Sanders comes off the board right here and the Broncos get him. And then my guy Hendon Hooker goes, whatever, dude. Lions got blessed with a good, probably franchise quarterback, in my opinion. Okay. We get Byron Young right here. Okay. Byron Young. Here's linebacker right here. Mapu. He wasn't like high on my board. So here's where it starts, guys, right here. Look. DeJuan Henley. After we got our D tackle, here's where the linebackers start coming off the board. So Henley comes off the board from Washington State. That was a guy my homie Raider Dave liked, a potential sideline to sideline guy. Okay. So that was kind of like a hit in the gut because, that was a potential linebacker maybe the next round we could have got, or if we would have traded up, we got. So then my sleeper guy, Devar Mion Overshone, goes to the Cowgirls, right? And then Dorian Williams goes, another linebacker. So all these stud linebackers are coming off the board, guys. Look at this. You got 3 back-to-back, Trenton Simpson, DeMarvion Overshone, Dorian Williams, okay? Raiders aren't doing nothing, right? We got our defensive tackle on the previous pick. So here's the red flags to me, guys, right here. Here we get this, we way overdraft. We reach on this, wide receiver right here who's fast. I know we need a wide receiver over the top, but, looking at it, it's like, oh, we're going to go wide receiver here. Okay, so what linebackers are available after that pick? And this is why I feel this is one of the reasons why I think there was a huge opportunity for the Raiders that we missed on, guys. We draft the wide receiver too high. We trade up to get a cornerback. I know we need a cornerback. I think he's got potential. He's fast, but not as tall as some cornerbacks. But you start going down the board here. Here's Ventrell Miller, linebacker. Outside linebacker Robinson. Nick Herbig. All right, here's one right here. Noah Sewell. This guy has potential to be a stud. So we could have got Noah Sewell. Even after all the stuff, dude, like at this point, look at this, guys. At this point, sorry, let me go back to the 4th round. At this point, we got our cornerback, right? Beginning of the 4th round, we got our cornerback. We traded up for him. We didn't even need to trade up, guys. Had we not gotten Trey Tucker, we could have got that cornerback at the previous pick. And then you could get Trey Tucker right here if you wanted, or get a linebacker that we know we flipping need. We go down. And then this is where we get this trash quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. That Raider Nation loves this guy. Raider Nation loves the interception king, Aiden O'Connell, who had a 64.1 passer rating last year and threw 12 interceptions. I mean, I have it pulled up, but I don't want to switch to that screen right now. But here's Aiden O'Connell. So we could have got a linebacker right here instead of a quarterback. And again, we go into the 5th round. There's still Noah Sewell on the board. And I'm saying even if we don't trade, and we traded up to get that, dude, the quarterback. Here's a linebacker here. Henry Ta'oto, a guy that I like going in the draft. Henry Ta'oto was still on the board. Owen Papo, or however you want to pronounce that. There was still a linebacker available here, guys. So there's 3 linebackers available going in the 5th round. So, we go quarterback, we go wide receiver way too high, and we don't get a linebacker. And there's Ta'oto, Papo, however you pronounce that, and then Sewell available. Even after all that stuff, Raiders still had a chance. And I know we did get a linebacker, but even after all that, we still had a chance to address linebacker a lot earlier than we did. But we didn't. We sat on the sidelines. We didn't do jack shit. And so when I evaluate this, and I go through and I'm like, all right, well, let's go to the Raiders and see who the Raiders picked up. And we're all excited, right? Raiders are going 17-0. We did amazing. I'd say the first pick, Tyree Wilson, that's a great pick. I do like him if he gets his foot healthy. Michael Mayer, I'm 50-50 on it. He's probably going to be a stud. So let's just say I like that pick, okay? And then next would be Byron Young. A little bit of a reach here. A little bit of reach, guys. Trey Tucker, massive reach. I mean, this dude should have been drafted. Dude, look, man. Trey Tucker should have been taken somewhere down here, bro. Not that high. That's crazy. Insane, guys. Insane. And then Bennett, we moved up to get him. Aiden O'Connell, we moved up to get Aiden O'Connell, the interception king that everybody fucking loves. People say he's accurate, but he had a 64.1% passer rating last year. Dude, it's crazy. He's not that accurate, guys. He's thrown way too many interceptions. So Christopher Smith, he's not very tall, man. He's not very tall. And I don't like that. 5'11" for a safety. Good luck, dude. Good luck covering fucking Travis Kelce. I mean, that's like Carl Joseph all over again. And then this outside linebacker that we got, like, dude, even if we didn't move up when we traded that pick for moving up to get Bennett, dude, we could have still got an outside linebacker. We could have gotten him right here, guys. I mean, it's just, he's not the tallest. He's not really got the weight to be a true linebacker. He's almost like, that's why he was a safety converted linebacker. So he's light for a linebacker. He should probably be like 250 to be in the linebacker, a real linebacker realm. So, and these other guys, I don't know. Anybody after the 5th round is almost like a developmental player, even if you get good value on them and stuff like that. So, like Christopher Smith, I don't hate that pick for where he was picked. Bennett, I don't hate that pick for like the round he was picked. But the ones I hate is Aiden O'Connell and fucking Trey Tucker, dude. We had a Hunter Renfrow. The only way Trey Tucker makes sense is if they already have plans on moving on from Hunter Renfrow. And I bet you that's their plan. I bet you they gave Hunter Renfrow a contract and all these guys knowing they were gonna dump him. Like, their plan was never to win. Their plan was to tank the Raiders and to do a rebuild. I feel very confident in that analysis of them. And because I'm a huge proponent, guys, that you'll know someone, you'll know someone by their fruit. You'll know them by their actions. And they've shown all of us by their actions. The biggest need on our defense was, linebacker, middle of the field. Dude, they didn't even try to touch it, guys. They didn't even try. It was crazy. It was crazy that they decided to make some of these moves when they did, while remembering what the real situation, what the real story was, which was the Raiders had made this trade right here. I mean, pick 174, guys. Pick 174. Look at that. The Raiders had pick 174. This is a reach. This I don't like this. To be honest with you guys, I don't like this at all. Because the 5th round, 174, there were still some guys available at that pick, guys. We could have just swapped. Like we could have just swapped when we got Trey Tucker and Bennett, and then the whole thing may have been a little bit different for my analysis. But when I look at this and I'm like, pick 174, and then I'm like, okay, well, go back, and I'm like, all right, let's look when 174 was going down. Because if we're gonna I know that's not like a high draft pick, but if we're gonna leverage 174, so this was our pick that we traded, right? 174 right there. Maybe those linebackers come off the board, but I mean, instead of leveraging to do that trade, why don't we freaking figure something out to get a stud linebacker? You know what I'm saying? Go back to the 2nd round. Look at all the linebackers not coming off the board. Okay, let's go into the 3rd round. Drew Sanders starts the linebacker run. The Raiders pick a few picks later, like 3 picks later, pick 70. Drew Sanders goes 67. Mapu, I don't know much about him, I'll be honest, but he goes pick 76. And then here's where two guys that probably a lot of Raider fans liked. Henley goes 85. Trenton Simpson goes 86. This is why I said we needed 2 second-round draft picks, guys, or we should have moved up. DeMarvio Overshown comes off the board. Dorian Williams comes off the board. Dude, we sat on our thumbs and we had opportunities to get linebackers and we didn't do shit. And everybody wants to knight this coaching staff like they're fucking great. Like, dude, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Really, dude. I mean, we can't trade up. We can't trade a 3rd round next year to move up in the 3rd round this year. Why not give up pick 174 to make that move? Or something else, like how about we would, if we would have moved from pick 100 up in the 80s or something like that, and then like a 2nd or 3rd round next year to get a linebacker this year, I mean, that would have been great. That would have made this an A+ draft for the Raiders. We need defensive starters now, especially for the teams we play, like Travis Kelce and the Chiefs. And the Raiders didn't do it. So everybody's saying these guys got an A+ like draft grade. I give it like a C+. Honestly, I do. I do not see it, guys, and I'm sorry. I wished I could look at it with a filtered lens, like almost every other year. That, like, Raiders go in the Super Bowl, we're going 17-0. Because most years I am. Most years I'm like very optimistic going into the season and whatever. So, like, if you were to break this down, right, and you're like, okay, what was the goals going into the draft? Again, red zone, and I would say, the middle of the field, knowing that we need a D tackle, cornerback, and linebacker. What were those issues addressed enough? And then the next thing I would ask is, going into the draft, how many starters should we get in a draft class? Like how many starters, day one starters, with knowing we had 12 draft picks, should the Raiders have gotten out of this draft? And then realistically, after the fact, how many starters do you guys see on this board? Being realistic, how many starters? Going into the draft, what I said was that we need at least 3 stud starters day one. Day one starters with an additional 2 like guys that can be developed into being starters. And the rest are kind of whatever. So essentially what I'm saying, having 12 draft picks, we need like 3 studs, okay, especially as high as we picked in the draft. Because remember, as I said in one of my videos, like getting Michael Mayer, that's almost like a first round draft pick. We picked so high in the second round, it's like draft pick 1.25. So knowing that, right, that we need 3 starters going into the draft when we got done with the draft, and 2 like rotational or developmental pieces. Did the Raiders accomplish that? Do you guys see at least 3 starters in here? So essentially what I'm saying, of our draft picks, I'm giving it only a 50%, less than 50% ratio of what we need to, draft picks we need to hit on. So I'm being extremely conservative. I'm not saying we got to hit 80, 90% of our draft picks. They may have, but I'm just saying, did we get 3 day one starters out of this draft and 2 developmental guys? 2? All right, Alfred. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to catch up on the chat. 2, yeah. But 2 is really mediocre to me. Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer. We could say 2. I'll agree with that. I think that's fair. Okay. But to me, we needed 3. 3, not 2. As high as we picked in the draft, guys, we needed 3 like day one starters. Byron Young, potentially. I'll be honest. Potentially he could start. We need defensive line help for sure. But is he going to be a starter? I don't know. We forget that these guys, like, and I said this in one of my other videos, but when guys are on these big teams like Alabama, dude, it makes them look a lot better than they really are, guys. A lot better than they really are. Why? Because they have so many other studs around them that it makes them look really great. And they may not be as great as they're portrayed to be. So, when you have Alabama, teams like that, and they have all those studs around them, and I'm not saying this is the case of Byron Young. I don't know. I don't watch Alabama. But, I do know the fact is a lot of big schools with stud players go to the NFL and they end up being mediocre. And it's because those college teams have a ton of other studs around them. And then those guys that we project to be studs that go to another team and they end up being mediocre. So, I would say Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer for sure, like day one starters. Okay. If Tyree Wilson's foot is healthy. Byron Young, potentially, not sure, to be determined. Trey Tucker, rotational piece, slot receiver. That's not a day one starter. Bennett, I don't see Bennett being a day one starter. Rotational piece, I'll count Bennett as a rotational piece. O'Connell, interception king, rotational piece. Christopher Smith, safety, I'm not seeing it. Maybe he could be a rotational piece. Maybe we'll count that as the second rotational piece. And then Amari Burney, maybe we'll count him as the third rotational piece. So it's possible that they hit on the draft. But even if they hit on this, to not have a linebacker and to still have this massive need when there's a talent, still a lot of talent available, I mean, I'm disappointed, guys. I'm disappointed. After round two, this draft was mediocre at best, maybe above average, right? I'm not giving him an A. I'm not giving him a B. I'll give him a C plus. If I want to be really nice, maybe a B minus. But if you factor in when like some big misses like Trey Tucker, that's a massive miss, guys. Massive miss. They way overdrafted Trey Tucker. And everybody's hyped up on him. Aiden O'Connell, dude. Like somebody in here, I know his name. I could say it. Somebody in here tried to say Aiden O'Connell was better than Hendon Hooker. And this dude had 64.1 passer rating, dude. 64.1. Look at that. 13 interceptions last year and 11 the year before. Dude, that's not good. Like, to have that many interceptions, he's a fucking interception throwing machine, dude. You got Derek Carr. You just drafted Derek Carr. Congratulations. For all the people that loved or hated Derek Carr, there you fucking go. It's a Derek Carr rewind. The only thing I like about this pick is that you can get a quarterback. Like, instead of paying a backup quarterback a lot of money, you got a quarterback on a cheap contract. But this was even too high. I feel like this was too high of a draft pick. This is where we could have got Noah Sewell, Henry to Oto, instead we got the interception king, and everybody's high on him. You go to Hendon Hooker. Look at that. 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, 69.6. That's a good fucking quarterback. That's a good quarterback, Hendon Hooker. Whatever. I'm fucking over it for now. We'll revisit the Hendon Hooker situation later on. And just remember what I said about him. All right, this is I'm going to share Trey Tucker here with you guys. All right, Trey Tucker, 5'9". He's actually like 5'8", whatever. I guess the combine, I guess he ran a 4.4. Pro day was closer to a 4.3 something. At that size, he better be running a 4.3. He's small. But the thing is, like, his yards, like, dude, he didn't have that many yards. And, like, look at the touchdowns. He only had 3 touchdowns. That's not like this guy, is that great. You know what I mean? I was a proponent that we should have Trey Palmer from Nebraska. He had way more yards and touchdowns and shit, man. So this wide receiver at 109, this is a reach. Again, we could have got Bennett without even trading. We'd have another pick at 174. So I don't know, guys. It's frustrating to me, dude. It's really frustrating because it's like, to go into a draft knowing you needed linebacker and to come out of a draft knowing you need linebacker. And I feel like nobody in Raider Nation is being honest, and hitting the nail on the fucking head. It pisses me off. How do you go into a draft knowing you need linebacker and you come out of the draft knowing you still need linebacker? Anybody tell me? Please, like, somebody tell me. Tell me I'm fucking stupid. We're stupid. We need a linebacker. We need to figure out somebody to cover Travis Kelce. Like, like this is like, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy that we're at this point. We've gotten to this point where we're going to give thumbs up to these guys, but they missed. They missed hard. No matter how I try to slice and dice it, look at it from other people's angles, because I try to do that, right? I try to be fair. Like, it's a miss. Huge miss. It's an opportunity wasted. We're not going to get a quarterback, whatever, fine. Trade next year's second round pick, move up in the second round, get Henley, get Trenton Simpson, get DeMarvion Overshown. Like, dude, there was opportunities for this team to get a really good linebacker. Or don't go D-tackle in the third round, right? When we had opportunity to get any of these linebackers, go linebacker and then trade up for the D-tackle or something, dude. Like, and, I had JT the Brick. I love JT, but like today, he's like, well, the Raiders didn't think that any of these guys are rated that high on their boards and was a good linebacker class. You gotta be kidding me. You don't think that any of these guys, Henley, Simpson, none of these guys are going to be stud linebackers in the NFL. None of them. None of them are going to help a team have a lot better defense. But yet we're going to sit here on the sidelines and not do nothing. And then we trade up. We get a wide receiver too early. We trade up to get a cornerback. How about we just get a cornerback instead of Trey Tucker and then Trey Tucker the next pick. I mean, then we have pick 174. That would have been a lot better too. But that's not what we did, guys. We didn't do that. We reached on some guys. We did. Let's be honest. Like if anything, you can call me an asshole, prick. I don't fucking care, guys. If anything, at least let's be honest. We drafted a wide receiver way too high. We drafted a quarterback way too early, way too high. Those are two misses. And meanwhile, we do those two like negative, bad situations, bad things, and we don't address linebacker. But we're gonna give them a thumbs up. They get an A, right? A+, A+. Participation trophies, dude. I ain't giving participation trophies. Not here, man. So, all right. So, I don't know, dude. There's people in the chat. I appreciate you guys, man. But I'm not gonna get into it. I want to go eat some dinner. I just wanted to come on here, give my thoughts, dude. Been on here for almost an hour. So, next time, I'll get into it. I'll try to read your guys' comments later on, and then I know people think I'm negative Nancy. No, I'm being real, dude. I'm being real. I'm preparing for this coaching staff to tank this team and for us to go get Caleb Williams, I guess. That's the way it's looking to me, guys. They haven't been real with us, man. If they were real with us, they would not have traded Darren Waller. Derek Carr is like a wash. They would not have traded Darren Waller. And now that we drafted this wide receiver way too high, Hunter Renfro's next. And then Josh Jacobs is next. Might as well count Devontae Adams a year from now. I'm telling you, dude, these guys, that's why I'm calling them clowns, because they lied to us. We took the bait, banana in the tailpipe. We've all bought into it, and they've been lying to us the whole fucking time. I'm being real, bro. I'm the only motherfucker that's being real with you. You can hate on me all you want. I'm just calling it like it is, and I'm being fucking real. Instead of all these other fake motherfucking Raider YouTubers that only care about making a buck and fucking fluffing you up and making you feel good and giving you a back massage. So whatever. I'm a prick. Whatever. I'm calling it like it is. I don't like these motherfuckers. You'll know them by their fruit. You'll know them by their actions, and their actions are proven exactly who the fuck they are. I'm just the only one to call it like it is. So that's all I got to say. Hardcore. I'm fucking hardcore Raider. There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation. These guys better get this shit straight. Pay Jacobs. We'll see what fucking happens. I'm out.